In Argentina, the workers of some 18 public transportation lines of the Buenos Aires metropolitan area went on a strike on Thursday to protest against the non-payment of Christmas bonus. The Palestinian Ministry of Health announced on Thursday that 4 Palestinians were killed and 3 injured as a result of an Israeli attack on a vehicle in the Tulkarm camp in the northern West Bank. At least 35 people have been killed in a stampede at a religious festival in Nigeria, where thousands of young people were in attendance. Hello and welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We'll begin with the news. Stay with us. In Argentina, the workers of some 18 public transportation lines of the Buenos Aires metropolitan area went on a strike on Thursday to protest against the non-payment of Christmas bonus. The transport companies declared they will not resume operations until the funds are deposited in the employees' accounts. The line's transport chambers had already warned that if the sector subsidized or tariff were not increased, they will not be able to pay the Christmas bonus in full. On the other hand, the nation's labor ministry had established a period of 15 days for mandatory conciliation, during which the Chamber of the Unions were forbidden to carry out demonstrations and strikes. The Argentine State Workers Association called for mobilization in rejection of the massive layoff carried out by the administration of Javier Milei. Through a communique, the union states that the demonstration will begin at 11 a.m. local time in the Buenos Aires vicinity of the Ministry of Justice to denounce the more than 2,400 dismissals considered by the government entity as irregular in previous days after the Minister of Justice signed a resolution to dismiss almost half of the personnel working in the entity, which also includes the funding of the cooperation funds of the system of laws and agreements. In the United States, a state emergency was declared after a first serious case of bird flu was confirmed in the country. The Southwest Louisiana resident over the age of 65 is hospitalized in critical conditions after being exposed to 6 dead birds in backyard floods. In this regard, the state of California declares the measure due to the spread of the virus in dairy industrial livestock in the territory after it was detected on dairy farms in the Central Valley. The measure has been taken to ensure that state agencies have the resources and flexibility they need to quickly respond to the outbreak. Also in the U.S., thousands of workers at Amazon facilities across the country went on a strike, handling the work at the height of the busy holiday gift-giving season. The national action follows Amazon's repeating refusal to obey the law and bargained with its workers, who organized with the Teamsters Union, which represents some 10,000 workers around the country. Workers at the New York facility became the first Amazon employees to unionize in April 2022, with several other sites since following suit. As a result, the Amazon workers voted in June to affiliate with the Teamsters. However, the company has repeatedly sought to block the unionization efforts, with legal proceedings still ongoing, which prompted the workers to strike. The situation at the heart of the holiday season might result in many U.S. families not getting their Christmas gift this year. In Bolivia, members of various social organizations gathered in the Murillo Square to celebrate the date of the democratic and cultural revolution. In celebration of the first electoral victory of the movement to socialism as in 2005, groups of citizens gathered in La Paz City, the Bolivian capital. The day that commemorates the social and historical struggle of the farmers, indigenous and intercultural organizations for a better future. This great mobilization takes place within the framework of a call made by the mass board of directors to the Bolivian people. Let's take a very short break, but remember you can join us on our TikTok account at teleSUR English, where you'll be able to see news in different formats, news updates and more. Stay tuned for more news. Welcome back to From the South. The Palestinian Ministry of Health announced on Thursday that 4 Palestinians were killed and 3 injured as a result of an Israeli attack on a vehicle in the Tulkarem camp in the northern West Bank. On Thursday, the ministry said that 2 other Palestinians had been killed in a riot in the Balata refugee camp near Nablus. According to the government body, one of the deaths was an 80-year-old woman who was fatally shot in the chest and leg. Violence in the West Bank has intensified since the Israeli war in Gaza began on October 7, 2023, with at least 803 Palestinians killed by the Zionist forces in the area. Israel has maintained its occupation on the West Bank since 1967 Arab-Israeli war.
Suddenly the plane hit. We were here. We felt the blow like we were flying. Because of the smoke, we didn't know what to do. There were injured people lying on the ground, charred people in the car and damaged shops.
2 buses crashed in central Afghanistan have killed at least 50 people and injured thousands more. The accident took place on the same highway in Ghazni province between the capital Kabul and southern Kandahar. In the first one, a passenger bus collided with a fuel tanker near the Shazba village in central Ghazni, while in the other accident, a bus hit a truck in the eastern district of Andar. As a result of the disaster, at least 50 people were killed and several injured who have been taken to the hospital in Ghazni. Meanwhile, patients in more serious conditions were taken to Kabul city. Traffic accidents are common in Afghanistan due to poor roads after decades of conflict, dangerous driving on highways, and a lack of regulations.
Governor, heading the security and rescue team, immediately reached the area and transferred the victims and injured to the regional and provincial hospital in Ghazni. The seriously injured were sent to the capital for treatment. Among the injured and victims, I should mention there are children, women, and the elderly. According to the doctors, some of the injured are in a critical condition. It is possible that the number of victims will increase.
The victims of the island of Mayo reject the visit of French President Emmanuel Macron after the passage of Cyclone Chido, which devastated most of the territory. Over 500 affected families were forced to abandon their homes and take refuge in a school. These families expressed their dissatisfaction with the actions of the head of state to deal with the emergency, which devastated entire communities and left the residents of the localities without basic services. After the announcement of the president's visits to the area, the inhabitants consider that the money he will spend on this trip will be more useful in the hands of the affected people.
I would like to ask the state if this is the case in all the French regions, or is it only in Mayotte that it has abandoned the island. Mayotte does not necessarily need your presence. What Mayotte needs is your help, your support. What you have spent coming here, from Paris to Mayotte, would have been much better used to help the population.
We had a tragedy. We lost my brother. We are here. This is my mother. She was in the hospital. She wanted to stay, but the hospital kicked her out. She wanted to stay because she had nowhere to go and her son died. She left the hospital and everyone is here. We have not been able to take my brother's body out of the hospital because there is a lot of paperwork to do, and on top of that we have to pay to recover the body.
French citizen Dominique Pellicard was sentenced to 20 years for the mass violations and drugging of his ex-wife Giselle Pellicard, along with 50 men that had participated in the rape during 10 years. The sentence handed down on Thursday against the 51 defendants by occurred in the southern town of Avignon. Range from 3 to 20 years in prison, with the victim's ex-husband Dominique receiving the highest penalty. The ex-husbands admit to drugging the ex-wife until she became unconscious and inviting dozens of men to rape her over the span of a decade. After the verdict was read, the victim said the outcome of her case gives her faith in a future in which everybody, women and men, have lived together in harmony, in respect, and in mutual understanding. Let's take our last break, but before we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English, where you'll be able to watch on interviews, sub-stories, special broadcasts, and more. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. We'll find a short break, don't go away. Welcome back. At least 35 people have been killed in a stampede at a religious festival in Nigeria, where thousands of young people were in attendance. The incident occurred at an Islamic high school in Ibadan, the capital of Nigeria, Southwest Oyo State, where up to 5,000 young people and children reportedly gathered for promised cash handouts and food. The police have arrested 8 people, including the event's main organizers, Naomi de Silukunola. Nigeria's worsening economic crisis has led to similar deadly crimes in 6 years, with incidents in Nasarawa, Bauchi, and Lagos claiming multiple lives.
There's no way anybody in his right mind will organize an event of this nature without involving security apparatus. I mean, people are very sane and they are alive to what is happening around us. You can't cramp 10,000 people, children for that matter, in a place and expect them to behave normally. You will be a person to really think like that. So we are not exonerating anybody who is connected with this organization event. But government is awaiting report of the security agency.
Mozambique's National Institute of Risk and Disaster Management informed on Thursday that the death toll from Cyclone Chido in the country has increased to 73. According to the Disaster Center, at least 68 of the deaths occurred in the northern Cabo Delgado province, 4 in Nampula province, and 3 in Naiza. On the other hand, the government agencies report more than 540 people injured by the storm, which brought winds of approximately 260 kilometers per hour and heavy rainfalls of about 250 millimeters in 24 hours. Chido made landfall in Mozambique on Sunday after the tearing through the Indian Ocean islands of Mayotte, where there are the fears that hundreds of people might have been killed. And now changing topics. An ancient Roman amphitheater in Croatia has been transformed for the first time into a magical ice rings for the Christmas seasons. For the very first time in its 2 millennial history, the iconic pool arena has been transformed into a winter wonderland. Locals, tourists, families looking for a festive day night can enjoy whizzing around the ice inside these ancient stone walls. The arena is one of the largest Roman amphitheaters still in existence and one of Croatia's most famous landmarks. The ancient monument is mainly used as a summer venue of the annual Pula Film Festival, a red carpet event that celebrates Croatia's national film award ceremony. However, the first century AD building is now a welcoming space for passersby and visitors, inviting everyone to celebrate winter's pretty together.
The skating is great. And the arena is really special. It's something our city is known for all over the world. And people everywhere use their historical sites to celebrate Christmas, so why wouldn't we do that too?
Apart from the film festival, the arena also hosts other events, like different concerts, from classical music to pop and rock events. We also have an annual event in the summer months, which reenacts Roman times and gladiator fights. There are also smaller events held there, like the Children's Carnival. The ice rink is a new way for the locals to use the venue.
Normally events at the arena are open to ticket holders, but the ice rink is open to anyone. They can walk by, visit, skate or not skate, and just spend time here. So this makes it more accessible to locals, and, of course, for any visitors who come to Pula.
And with that, we have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on our socials from Facebook, on X, and on Instagram as well. For Telesur English, I'm from the South, Omar Marrero. Thank you for watching.